boys just run out of the ground. Should be a marvellous game here. Of course, following this match, we've got the reserves at North Hobart, 12:30, and the senior match, which should be an absolute blockbuster between Cygnet and Huonville. It's been the talk of the town. Massive rivalry going back over 100 years, and sure to be a great day of southern football here in Tasmania. You can see the Claremont people have put a lot of effort into their banner as they're about to come out. Sorry, that's Southern Storm, of course, right in front of us. And you can hear the boys just below. They're just about to come out here onto the ground and run through the banner. You will be joined by Peachy Roberts very, very soon in the commentary, who's come down from Launceston just to commentate this big match here today. And here is the banner. Weather update, no blues in sight. Watch the storm turn day into night. Good looking banner. As I can hear Aaron Peachy Roberts just about to join us, ladies and gentlemen. What a treat this will be.
G'day, Duff. How are we going?
Oh, it's great to have the second most popular commentator joining us here at Duff TV. I'll be stepping out in a moment.
It's a controversial
Aaron.
statement straight up, isn't it?
We'll be having Trent Cohen joining us from the Southern Storm in commentary, but welcome and thanks for coming down to this big game. I was just saying it's been the talk of the town, of course, for the seniors, but a lot of rivalry between these two clubs here, Lindisfarne and the Southern Storm in the SFL under-19s.
Yeah, we look into this one. The mighty club in the south. Combination of Cygnet and the wonderful Commandy Robbins from many years ago. They've combined to make this tremendous junior club, and they're undefeated for the year. They're up against the upstart Lindisfarne 2 Blues, which I can tell you, last time these two teams played, they got the jump on them. They got away early. Their forwards started going. So the Southern Storm, although they'll go in as favourites with a massive percentage, we just need to keep an eye on this Lindisfarne team. We're just waiting for them to come through their banner. So chilly conditions at Abbotsfield Park for the Colts grand final. Duff TV, Aaron Peach Roberts, Trent Cowan's going to come and join us. The umpires are coming onto the ground. A little bit of dew, which is not uncommon for mid-October. See Russell Young down there, making sure everything's right. Got a nice group of cars in at the moment, and a good little crowd just below us as well, and some quite happy Claremont girls that won the grand final last night. Congratulations to them. They're enjoying and in high jinks at the moment. You can hear the noise and the effects, Mike. That is the Southern Storm. They've come up over the saddle, and here they come to Abbotsfield Park. The big clean team from the south in the Colts. They're always here, now in October, but always here on Grand Final Day. They're a powerhouse. Before Trent Cowan comes in, we've got Martin Duffy, who is just vibing at the moment. He's got it, he's feeling it. It's running through his fingers, and there go the Storm. And there's their team up on the screen as they charge out onto the home of the Pies. But today, one of these teams, either Two Blues or the Storm, will be the victors in the Colts. Martin Duffy.
What's your tip today,
but the Storm are excellent. I mean, I actually saw Lindisfarne last week. Bit of spirit in their side, but the Storm just have too many goal kickers. Soward and co, they know how to kick sausage rolls. They're a bit old-fashioned team as well, where they'll spread, they'll find their forwards, and they've got some good kicks, and they're a really tight-knit group of players. They've been together for a while, and they're obviously a bit of a different because they're kind of part of a junior club, so they've come their way through the journey, and I think they'll be definitely favourites.
And a couple of these boys actually on a Saturday typically saddle up for both teams. They'll play Colts,
and
have
then
a
they'll
rest, and then the better players will play. Incredible.
So there they are, and a lovely jumper. My favourite logo is this one, the Storm. It's got the Robin from Commandy just sitting there up against the Port symbol as well. So there they are, just warming up. We're a few minutes away. It's about 7 degrees here in the northern suburb. There's a little bit of dew. We're sitting up on top of, what do we call this, the supporter base here at Claremont. We're on a balcony, we're out in the open, we're hoping no rain. It's predicted at 2 o'clock we might get a drizzle an hour before the seniors grand final, the Battle of the Huon. But first of all, the first Huon team is here, and Trent Cowan is coming in to join us in the commentary position.
I love the TV.
Trent, just get yourself settled there. We've got a few minutes away as we get ourselves ready for this massive Colts grand final. We've got Ben Duffy on the camera. The littlest Duff of all, Jack, doing the VMix production. And my right, we've got this tiny little table here in the Duff TV headquarters. Trent Cowan's brought his port mug. He's brought his, is it a coffee or a tea there, Trent?
Coffee, mate.
Coffee, so is this an early start? Is this your first coffee? I reckon actually we might have to get Ben Duffy just to pan over here to see what Trent's doing at the moment, because this is significant. He's got his
port cup.
Here we are in the commentary position. How good's this?
I've got the Macona going here, Peach. And just got a bit of milk to add to it. It's nothing special, but
if I had known, mate, I would have brought my own mug. But
oh, here we go. Look at this. You got the little one here, mate.
Oh, happy days. A little short black there, be magnificent.
We might. I hope there's not too much caffeine in it. We might have a say.
Oh, good man. We're going to need it too, mate.
Too excited.
So, Trent, you're buzzing at the moment. I'll let you have a couple of sips and get your milk ready as we see the teams warming up in this massive clash. As I mentioned, I saw Lindisfarne last week at Huonville. It was a really intriguing game. At half-time, Lindisfarne looked like they had the lead. Huonville came at them, and they lost their structures for about 15, 20 minutes. You could see the bench and the brains trust of Lindisfarne make some changes, and they settled things down in what was a really fiery and right an emotive clash, and then Lindisfarne ran away with that game. On the other hand, the Storm cruised past New Norfolk. Trent, what are you expecting from the Southern Storm today?
Well, Lindisfarne's been the only team to really push the challenge, and the Storm had a number of players out that day through injury and unavailability, after the first, it took them to half time, but it was really a game of two halves that day, wasn't it? There was a big lead at half-time to Lindisfarne. And,
so Lindisfarne really got out of the block. So what's your sort of take on that game, and if Lindisfarne can replicate that again?
The Storm had quite a few younger players in that day, and missing some of their older boys. So it was a great character-building effort that day by the younger boys, and it was a game that won't be forgotten for a long time.
So what's been the instructions from the coach just relating to that, to give them that bit of information and ensure, because this is a really tight knit of players, aren't they? These guys are really tight. I'm not saying the Lindisfarne guys aren't, but this is a slightly different structure to Lindisfarne, that these guys have come to the junior ranks and really seamless. What's been the instructions,
they've been together for years and years, and
Andrew's a quality individual, good coach.
He's one of the best speakers you would hear going around from the coaches. He's expecting plenty of heat early, and he's just advised the boys to be in the game early, and then try and get their game going once the heat settles. So
really looking forward to this clash. You're on Duff TV. It's the last weekend of senior football in Southern Tassie. We've still got some STJFL, and we've got a 18s grand final, some stuff on Thursday. But this is a big clash. We're sitting in a different spot than usual. We're nearly behind the goals in the left forward pocket, which will make it interesting. Hopefully we get a good image of all the players and we can see some of the numbers. I don't know all the players, so do our best to make sure the coverage. Aaron Peach Roberts, Trent Cowan from the Port Footy Club. We're about to kick off in the Colts grand final.
these two teams have played in the last 3 grand finals now, so it's been 2-0 to Lindisfarne. So we'll see what the result is at the end of the day.
So the Port setting up early. They got pumped out of the track last time these two teams played, which wasn't that long ago, so they'll be fresh in their memories. As I see a bit of that kicking off the ground to start with, as the Storm are going to have to do some defensive work. That's a wide kick. They're going away from us here in the camera to the river end of the ground and out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Got a nice vantage point here, Trent, but it's a bit chilly, mate.
Yeah, there's a little bit of dew on the ground. You saw that ball slip and just slide over the boundary, so it's going to slide.
It's Colts footy, though, isn't it? The Colts have got to be used to the dew, surely.
They do, that's for sure. But yeah, they'll know that they can attack the ball straight on. It's not going to bounce sideways on them much while this dew's on the ground.
So Clark just in there, pushing it out. Just need to release out the back here because there's some pressure here going on from Lindisfarne, and that's kicked to the middle of the ground.
Yeah, there's plenty of numbers around the ball there, isn't there? They have to be disciplined with their tackles.
Well, we're just looking at it at the moment. There's probably 15 players within about 2 or 3 steps of the football. The umpire's just clearing it out as the Port players just getting their structures right here in defence. Quite similar colours too. So the ruck contest.
Here comes forward again, and that's Cody Rawnsley.
So Rawnsley then should just clear it up. Slips over though. Player on the edge of that pack is Cowan. We'll see a lot of Cowans. A common name down in that part of the world.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
Handball out by Brereton, another common name. Little tag of the jumper. The umpire leaves his whistle away from his mouth and over the boundary line. So the forward line, obviously the forward line's been so good, hasn't it, for Soward and others. They're going to kick a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
But on this day, it's a big ground here. What's going to be their plan going forward for the Port or for the Storm?
They've got plenty of midfield grunt in the middle with the medalist Josh Code leading the way there. He's the captain. He's just cleared that one from defence out to the wing. And the boy contesting that one's Kane Wouters. He's been one of those star forwards.
He's a beauty Louders. Well, there's Code then. Got the ball nicely further afield.
Sculthorpe.
Yeah, Sculthorpe now. Sculthorpe just goes short into the pocket. There's a long lead going out just out of bounds in front of Connor Soward, who's got number 15 on today. He's usually in the 30s, so a number 15 for him. So first movement forward by the Storm. No score yet here in the Colts grand final. So the umpire's actually wiping that ball down, making sure it's nice and dry. So Clark in the ruck. Just misses the hands of Major. And another boundary throw-in.
Clark's been an exceptional ruckman all year. He often taps the ball and then does his own roving.
Gets 2 possessions, does he?
Yeah, he's pretty agile, Ryan Clark.
So Clark in there again. He's up against Major. Major misses. There we go. Right on cue. Gets it. Left foot now. Into the forward 50. Back of the pack. Couldn't be marked. Then it's just dropped out of the fingertips of Walker. Walker just needed to be a little bit more clean then. Move further afield now out of defence by Lindisfarne. Gets one. Did he get the tackle away? I don't think he did. And Eves, in fact, it's not Eves, it's Henley with a free kick here about 60 metres out from goal. So one lead on. Henley decides a short option's his best. They've just tipped it off, but we mentioned the ball's a little slippery. Code gets it. Code falls over. Handball comes out. Neither team can get it. I reckon there's a little hold there. And a free kick in defence here for Lindisfarne. So a bit scrappy early on, isn't it, Trent?
Yeah, that's what Pup Lovell expected, so he's dead right. Shows his great knowledge of football, doesn't it?
Well, I think he's seen a few of these grand finals, hasn't he? So he knows things are very different on grand final day. As even now with the ball just on the northern side of Abbotsfield Park, those players have pushed across. Another free kick given away. I reckon another little hole. It's just a little bit of a push and shove involved. Is Elijah Cowan, a feisty character by the look of it, Trent.
Yeah, doesn't take after his father, that boy, that's for sure.
So half back here. There's a high kick on here. Over the back of the pack is McQueen. Can't get it. There's a quick kick in forward. So a race on here. Storm with the numbers.
Jonty Fay's going to track it down. No, he's run past it.
Fay misses it. Lindisfarne now come and get some numbers around this one. I reckon they get a go hold up here. They'll be really happy. Now there's two Southern Storm players out there and a neat pick up by Code. Code on his left. Kicks it up towards the half forward here. Chase on here. First into that's Rutherford for the Lindisfarne 2 Blues.
And the two Slaters are on.
Look at that. 3 people tackling him, Trent, and he's dragged to the ground.
The Slaters remind me of little Tassie Devils whirring around.
So most of these guys are obviously, is there a few from Geeston further south? Or?
Yeah, the boys are spread out. There's a couple of boys from Kingston as well. There could be three or four of those.
Obviously go to school together, I'd assume.
Yeah, and their parents have played with Signet and Commandy. So Josh Henley's grown up at Kingston. His dad's a Commandy boy, and Matthew Doreen's dad's a Signet boy.
They're all good names, aren't they? I've kind of look at this list. It's the Doreens and Cowans and Breredens. It's a common one. So we hope you're enjoying it early because it's a really tough game as Elijah Cowan trying to smack his way through that pack and he can't find it and negate the pressure from Lindisfarne. And once again, a scrappy first 6 minutes.
Yep. So we've got another throw in here.
So the structures here is Clark is pushing into the ruck. And once again, Samuel Major's going to have a lot of work to do because he's probably losing a couple of centimetres. Cowan in there. Cowan just on his knees, just thumps the ball out with both hands. A bit of a scoop. Dangerous high kick. Lovell underneath it. He gets his left hand to it.
Yeah, that was Cody Rawnsley come in there with the clearing punch, and Josh Coates just seen it over the boundary line.
So the big players for both teams getting involved, and I reckon if you're a Lindisfarne coach, you'd be more than pleased with this start, Trent.
Yeah, it's certainly hot.
No score at the moment for either side. Both teams have had the ball a little bit in the side, but I reckon it's just winning the ball out of the contest at the moment. But this is clearing kick. As Cowan's taken the ground, and the umpire said, you did not dispose of it. You had an opportunity. So the lead comes on from Devine. He's a good forward. That's a poor kick in the end as it's punched out.
Bit of ping pong there.
Harrison had his opportunity now. Should be rushed over. It is. So just a bit of an opportunity there as Harrison just lost his position and probably slipped as a poor kick in. So Rawnsley now for the Storm. Knocks the ball further out, defines McQueen. McQueen's got some run and support here by Doreen.
And that's good basic footy, isn't it?
Just get it moving forward. Absolutely.
Doesn't matter how.
Doreen goes down. Numbers here still with the Storm. They just need to be clean. Reaching down is Elijah Moore. He's got slung without the football. The umpire said that was okay. Booted off the ground by Wooters. Slung around and handled was Eves.
It's much faster pace this game than the boys are used to, obviously, isn't it?
And this ground size also allows a good footy. Is that the fist going over the top by the Lindisfarne defender. We've got 81 there. We'll just have to check his number. Must be a late number change. Another boot off the ground. Well, I've seen about 7 or 8 grand finals so far this year, and the team that can get the ball out in some space has certainly had advantage in the new modern style of football, which is really contested. One-on-one opportunity. In best position was Cutler. Cutler couldn't mark it. He might go back again. They need to be clean here. Need to be smooth with their hands. Dowling in there. Needs to be some pressure. That could be the first, and it is. It's Cutler, and the 2 Blues are on the board.
Yeah, that was great play there by Lindisfarne. They just kept putting the pressure on the Signet or Southern Storm backs, and in the end, the Southern Storm couldn't handle.
It was exactly that, wasn't it, Trent? It was that forward pressure, and actually the first time inside their forward 50, and here we'll see on the Mood Food replay. just that one extra player, but it was that forward pressure. But there was the first time they actually had even numbers, 50-50 representation with forwards and defenders, and that pressure won out in that turnover. So a really good start here early, and the two Blues had the champs 7 points down.
Yeah, Braden Dowling almost marked that one, and it just came out to it's really going to be valuable for any player who can handle the ball well and cleanly.
I think, you know, get that ball moving forward. It's going to be the style of game. Turn it over in the forward 70 metres. And here's some dash as Code rushes out. Kicks it up to a one-on-one. There's that slippery ball. Just dropped out of the fingertips. I think that was Kringle. Goes forward again. Opportunity now for Slater. Can Slater get onto it? Slater steady. And the goalkeeper on the line. How about that?
Yeah. That would look like a certain goal, didn't it?
Well, from our angle, it's quite hard, isn't it, Trent? Yeah. Because of depth perception, we're nearly behind the goals here. Well, hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Duff TV. Nearly 10 minutes gone in the Colts grand final. Aaron Peach Roberts, Trent Cowan from the Southern Storm Footy Club, and a nice mark there taken by Clark.
Yeah.
So Clark looks for a lead. Not a lot of movement at the moment, is there, Trent, in the forward line?
No,
both
teams are pushing numbers back. Hasn't Clark had a good start to the game, though?
He's had a bunch of touches. Another guy's had it as Josh Code. Josh Coates goes high over the back, trying to reach into that one. Is Sale, the vice captain, and out of bounds. Just that composure at the moment. There's certainly different structures. They want to move the ball slowly a little bit more, the Storm, whereas Lindisfarne are using that rushed entry inside that forward 50. Maybe that's more the pressure from the half forwards at the moment. Clark with his hand on it. Sale in there as well. Scooping it up and nearly winning it was Ryan Clark, who's had a lot of the ball early. Into the pocket, reaching up and nearly grabbing it was Harris.
That was good play by Dowling to get the ball back in the forward
I reckon
line.
that's a throw, is it? I think that's a throw, so here's an opportunity. So the Southern Storm, they're going to go the short option. It's risky, but it's worked out okay. And some long sleeves. He's got the long sleeve and the short sleeves on by the
Josh Henley. Yeah.
So what's Henley? What can we expect from him?
This is his first year with the Storm. He's previously played with the Kingborough Tigers through the junior ranks, but he's got better and better as the year's gone on. When other players have been unavailable, he stepped into the midfield role, started off the year on the back line.
So Henley from about 45 metres to get the Storm their first score and their first 6-pointer. It's certainly straight. I think it's touched on the line. Yes, it is, and a minor score. So bit of the ball down in that forward line for the Storm, and they haven't been able to capitalise on some dominant possession.
It's a good clearing kick. It's out to the wing.
Thumping kick, isn't it? So battle on here. It's two players needed to be beat here by Dowling, who's had a stack of the ball in the early stages of the grand final.
Throws have been the order of the day.
I feel like the ball's slipping out of the hands of the players, Trent, isn't it?
Yeah, it was different on TV last night.
Yeah, that was a cracking game. Huh? Kick it up to half forward. At the back of this one is Cowan. He runs past it. And then the short option. This is the composure that we so often see from this football club as Lovell. Goes with a bit of a play on option and drives it low and hard. That's dangerous because there was some pressure coming as Sculthorpe came out and put some pressure on. Right into the pocket and out to the right and out of bounds.
Yeah, missing a few opportunities, Storm.
So they've really had the ball for 4 minutes here, haven't they, Trent? Been unable. I love your cup though, mate. That's an absolute beauty. Is that life membership cup or something? Is that... What do you have to do to get one of those?
Oh, $10, I think.
Yeah, $10. It's not the volunteers all at Signet get cups. It's a beauty. If you can't see it, and you probably can't, there's a Signet Support the Port Cup just on the right-hand side. We're in the outer here at Abbotsfield Park. It's only 7 or 8 degrees. There was a bit of rain as I came down through the Midlands. The talk of the town in Lonnie. It's a state league grand final, but I can tell you what, there's more heat down here with lots of grand finals. Claremont women had a massive win last night in the SFLW. Great call from Tubes Taylor and Jodie Mather. Watched the last quarter of that one, but we've got the Colts grand final here on Duff TV, followed by, we're going to nick off to North Hobart. We've got the Rezzies grand final, which is going to be a ripper, and then the big one at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a great day for footy, isn't it?
Well, it's been great. I've been watching the story and the conversations. I chatted to Brent Costello and Chris Rowbottom as well, and about the footy build-up here in the south, and everyone's saying, why can't we get more people? Well, we've got a good crowd here at the moment at Abbotsfield Park.
That's Ambrose Brereton taking that mark.
It's Brereton up to half forward. A big fly at the back. There's a nice climb. Then by Becker. And players are on their knees. Got a player at the back here, so just a bit of mischecking then from the Storm. A couple of times in the first few minutes they were out. The ball's dropped off by Clifford. Clifford misses it and then gets into Doreen. Back handball. Nice structures here as Brereton's got it. Doing a good job here defensively because they're structured really well around the contest. And probably, and so I think that might be a playing advantage here.
Yep.
So knocked out. Here's some run and dash from Wooters. A good player, Wooters, a good young junior player. But that kicks out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, it must be really slippery, that ball out there. There's a lot of fumbling going on, and
sometimes it's you don't realise the pressure's there, do you? Or you think it's there and it's not, and you still make that space. As in the contest was Wooters. It's just stolen out of the pack. I think that was Brereton. High kick to a one-on-one contest. Lindisfarne with some numbers. Harris in there for Lindisfarne now. Kicked off the ground by Slater. Hurried kick. It might come back here in a hurry. Now in the hands of Foster. Foster steadies for Lindisfarne. One-on-one contest. Over the back is Innes for the Storm. That's a little hold off the ball. The umpire says nothing doing there. Henley, who has one shot on goal, kicks it up high to half forward. Just goes over the top of Kringle. Defensive work required from the two Blues. They haven't cleared this ball yet. The thump comes out. It might come again to Henley. Swings around in the middle of the ground here at Abbotsfield Park. Has a think, stops, props, and kicks high to one-on-one. That advantages, though, the Lindisfarne defender. He should get there first, but it's one out of the pack here by Clifford, by the Storm, into the pocket. The big forwards crash and bash into that one. Lindisfarne gamely defending at the moment. And they'll need to do that. It's now kicked out high again. And a couple of players have had a bit of the ball. Here he is again. Henley swoops down. He gets pinned as soon as he grabs the ball. Gee, that's tough. I reckon he took one step. And I think it's indicative of junior footy sometimes. The umpires are really quick on those ones, aren't they, Trent?
Yeah, sometimes they go quickly and other times they get a chance. It's just have to interpret. Players need to interpret how the umpires are blowing their whistle.
And make that adjustment. Innes, smothered kick, one-on-one, over the back, rolling. There's a push. There is a push. And it should be a free kick here to the Storm defender. And there's a bit of angst from a fiery Wilton from the two Blues. And it's deep in defence here by Faye. Faye goes wide. There's an extra defender out here. Yeah, so Clark went up and couldn't mark the ball. He's now on the ground trying to win it. And that was a lucky and a missed opportunity for Lindis. Didn't really need to do that push, did he, the Lindisfarne forward? That was Wilton who had the best position. It just need to hold, and I reckon it may have come over into his hands.
I like the pressure Lindisfarne are putting on, and Southern Storm are not applying that same pressure on the forward line. I think that's the difference so far. I know the scores are close.
You're right, they've been able to exit quite easily Lindisfarne out of the defence of the Storm. The Storm just probably just using them. I mean, the Storm are winning through the middle of the ground, and no offence to Lindisfarne, they've got the better midfielders. But the actual team play from the two Blues at the moment is outstanding, and they've just won a free kick. So Harrison, who will have a shot on goal, he looks like he's going to have a deliberate shot because he's taking his time. He's pulling up the socks. They're not long ones these days, so that's only a quick effort. He's now looking for a handball option. So Harrison, opportunity right on 50 metres. It's going to be short. Over the back is Wilton. And there's a brilliant mark. So the ball now in the hands of Rawnsley. He's had a little bit of it. He kicks it out to some space on the right-hand side. Some contest here from Dowling and out of bounds. So the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard, 1 goal 1 to 2 behind. So Lindisfarne with the early lead. Duff TV, Colts Grand Final, Abbotsfield Park. We're hoping you're enjoying the early start here. There's a split SFL Grand Final with the women's standalone game last night. Nearly 900 people through the gate. Great result. Abbotsfield and off to North Hobart for the other two games.
Certainly some excitement in the crowd here. You can feel
the atmosphere,
noise,
isn't there? Yeah, I reckon there's about 400 probably people, just under us in the tiered section. There's plenty of cars around Abbotsfield. I reckon we're close to around 400 or 500 people enjoying the clash. And maybe those lucky people that are from Cygnet, they might have got a ticket too for the senior grand final. They were hot property.
They were. It's a very difficult situation to deal with.
Yeah, well, about 3 weeks ago, there was only 500 allowed at a footy game. And unfortunately, all the northern competitions have had their grand finals. And I reckon they had gone to an extra one. There might have been a case that might have annoyed a few northern presidents, I can tell you, because I had a chat to a couple of them, and I reckon they might have been annoyed if it went past 1,000. So probably a fair result, although we would have loved to have seen lots of people coming through to the grand finals. There's a ruck contest here. The hand there coming forward. The Lindisfarne ruck. It's going to need to work hard here. Does Fay. Fay gets tackled. Now it's going to be rushed out by Ransley. And that's a nice kick. And it's just on half-back here. So the ball in the hand of Cowan. Trying to really build here, but that kick's just disappointing because he was under no pressure, but they've just turned it over. Gowans for the two Blues. Pressure applied, and now it's to Becker. Just going to his backside is Barbican out of bounds.
Yeah, we're probably lucky to have footy here when you think of the poor people in
That's
Victoria
right.
and country Victoria.
50% of community footy didn't go ahead this year in Victoria at any stage. So obviously that includes all the suburban comps which stopped, and well, actually it was more than 50. It was about 75% of comps didn't go ahead, and they've had a 50% reduction in their participation, which to turn that around, to lose half your players in a state the size of Victoria who did not touch a footy this year, they've got some work to do. In Tassie, it was around about 20% of players didn't play. So we've got certainly probably the best position of nearly any community footy outside of South Australia, who had, I think, the highest participation numbers and probably the least impacted. As a high tackle and falling to the ground is Becker. And there's going to be a free kick here, though. So free kick to Slater. They need to get a score here. Well, that's the honk of the siren. A couple of seconds past. It's quarter time here in the Colts.
So Kringle's claiming the mark, but the umpire said, no, you're a bit
No,
late,
he was
mate.
I reckon about 3 seconds late, wasn't he? He was probably too far out. So the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard indicates a lead to Lindisfarne. 1 goal, 1-7. Southern score just the two behinds. Cutler with the goal. Trent Cowan, a quick wrap of that first quarter from you.
Well, very, very even. As I said, I think Lindisfarne are applying a bit more forward pressure, and that definitely got them the goal. But very even around the ground. I'd like to see the players using the ball a little bit more and focusing on getting possession, because the side that can handle the ball best in these slippery conditions is going to get big advantage and a dividend for that. But
so what if you were the coach down there, what would you say if you were Andrew Lovell at the moment?
I think we need to, the ball's getting forward, but it's getting out too easy. I think our forwards have been led to the ball by the Lindisfarne boys. So Southern Storm will need to probably have a look at their forward structure and try and change that up.
So that pressure in the forward 50s, they're key for them.
Yeah, so Connor Soward's a big boy, and
it's been 1-on-1 a few times, Connor, but unfortunately it's been high up, just out of his reach a little bit. So that delivery needs to be out in your chest at the moment in slippery condition. Yeah,
Lindisfarne defence has done really well back there, and they're using the ball well, coming out with getting good penetration on their kicks as well. So that's relieving the pressure.
So the narrative early is a tight game, probably in the middle of the ground. We imagine the run of people like Henley and Slater. Wooters has had a bit of ball off halfback for the Storm. They've been pretty useful in there. However, it's been the forward line that still looks dangerous. Dangerous ball movement at the moment. We're going to have a break here in the Colts Grand Final. Be back for the second quarter here in a few moments' time.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Centrally located on Level 2, 15 Victoria Street in the heart of Hobart CBD, Elevate Wealth is the home for all your financial advice needs. Delivering financial advice to all Tasmanians, Elevate Wealth ensures it provides its clients with certainty, clarity and direction with confidence. Whether it's superannuation or investment advice, cash flow and budgeting, insurance or wealth protection, help with Centrelink or retirement planning, the team at Elevate Wealth are here to help. Elevate Wealth is a proud sponsor of the Southern Football League 2020 Final Series and is offering the local community a no-obligation, free advice consultation that can be registered via the following link. Elevate Wealth, supporting local grassroots football, building stronger ties with the Tasmanian local community.
At Claremont Mitre 10, we've been around for a while. In the 1800s, we began carving a living from the forests of the south, learning to use the right tool for the job, making sure the job was done just right. Well, our history continues to shape our future. Mighty local, mighty helpful. Claremont Mitre 10.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property, for your market appraisal.
Come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, mate.
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
Second half action here on Duff TV. Aaron Peach Roberts, Trent Cohen from the Southern Storms joining in the contribution, and looking forward. Interested to see what we've got. The Southern Storm coming towards us.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
So a really great tackle, and we've seen only a few turnovers so far. And
is cool. And when you hear it,
half forward, sliding on his knee.
then it's up to you to act.
That one is the ring. Tackle late.
Know your limits
Pressure. And there we go.
and come back for them later.
That ball did not go 15
Forget yesterday
Hurry kick
and tomorrow.
Here by Harris for the two Blues. Decides the middle of the ground is his option. It's not a bad one. And so some build up here by Wilton, who's just moved up a little bit further forward than where he was. He was playing deep in that first quarter, sweeping down as Major. Major hacks it further forward. This is where they've been so good at keeping the ball. That's a push in the back. And I reckon that's going to be a free kick here in defence for Fay.
Jonty Fay.
So Fay brings it to the attacking side of the ground. Guys here probably don't know. They wouldn't have come out here very often. And a little hold and another free kick. So it's getting their structures right.
Very consistent on that free kick.
Yeah, look, and I think, you know, the player should know, because I've watched a lot of this sort of level of footy in junior footy. It's how they do is whacked out there by Eves.
Yeah, another kick come on the ground. There's maybe one change that's been made at quarter time.
Well, that was disappointing because they had some run there, but that was just a little bit too easy. As Holdsworth with his left boot kicks it up towards half forward, and a mark's taken there by the energetic Clifford. Clifford go.
Yeah, he's looking to move the ball quickly every time he gets at Clifford. So
here's a chance now, left boot. Is it going to be the Storms first? Yes, it is. It snuck past the post. Right. Wonderful work by Wooters. Yep. That was a wonderful composed snap. And the Storm are on the board, and I bet they feel much better about their world.
Kane gets in the right positions all the time. He often kicks skulls from that area, just coming forward from in front of the pack.
I tell you what, the umpire had to do a bit of work to ensure that. Some celebrations from Connor Sowett, the captain.
He was on his non-preferred. It wasn't the most convincing-looking kick, but it was.
But he got the space, didn't he? He found a rhythm, picked it up well. It was a nice bit of passage, and so a free kick on half back for the Storm. Then the kick up to half forward. They finally got some pressure and some numbers to the contest trend, and that allowed them to get the ball inside their half forward. Yeah. So Clark with the ball.
Good play from Clifford to get it in there.
Here it comes again, a bit of a chaos kick. See some pressure there on the defence by Riley. Handball at the back, they're certainly structured up better again. In front, Sauer can't get it. He might be able to get it down to his toes. Just chopped off and knocked to the ground there by Jordan. Lindisfarne with the numbers is here in the pocket. Might come back again. Might have been a push out under the ball, not called there on the umpires. It looked like Clark could have won that one.
Clifford got it back to Clark, who's hooked it in.
Here he comes, the big forward, the vice-captain. Snap in the pocket, just to the near side. You can hear the commentary position. It's in below us, and affects Mike. The noise of the Storm supporters.
That was Liam Slater, number 31.
He's had a little bit of the ball, hasn't he? So some dash out here at defence.
Nice kick.
And nice work by Riley. It's been a fantastic day off half back for the two Blues. They're trying to go this little 45 kick. It's a dangerous one. Particularly there's numbers there around the ball. Nearly won by Jenkins. Now a couple of handballs here. The sides, third handball not on. That's a really good kick. In best position is Gregory. Knocked off the football.
Good play from Cooper Eves there. Two contests. He's given away the free kick.
Well, it was a little sloppy just in front of us. Harris was in there. And Harris is going to win it. I reckon he deserved that free kick. So got to the ball first. Harris will go short. It's not a bad option, but necessarily the best kick. Swing around is Gowans. And his kick's been turned over. Lovell now with it. Lovell goes short. Finds Clark. Now Clark getting a little bit of the ball around the ground. Now there's a magnificent tackle and a smother laid by Barwick. But they turned it over here. They'll think it's going to be a free kick. They're not happy with it. And a free kick here to Lindisfarne. Not sure, I didn't actually see that one, Trent.
He just may have held on to him in the tackle a little too long, I think.
So kick into half forward. Harrison with the long sleeves on. Loses the ball. Might come back out here to Clark, and dashing through there is Clifford. Clifford short. Goes over the top of Harris. Harris tight. Handballs out. Millwood in there for Lindisfarne. Defensive punch coming over the top. Here's that ball in the middle of the ground. They're really chopping off here nicely at the moment. Moore's kick just past the fingertips.
Yeah, it looks like both sides may have a loose man in defence. There's a bit of ping pong going between half forward and half back.
So Doreen's kicks off, and Barwick has it on half forward for the two Blues. Up to half forward. Just spills through the hands there. Nearly got it by Gaffney. The Storm with the numbers back. Little fortuitous that kick. Still one out here. Swooping down, but a free kick here to Becker.
I think that's against Matthew Dance for holding without the ball.
So another
Matthew Doreen, actually.
So Lindisfarne, they've got the free kick. And it's Devine's got it. And I can tell you, this lad is a very good kick of the football. So Jackson Devine, after 3 or 4 minutes of ping-pong football, the Storm had the lead on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. They've got their first goal through Wooters. Cutler with the early goal for Lindisfarne and a second opportunity for the Farn. That's going to drift to the left. Should be cleared through and punched through. They're going to need to get this over the boundary line. Instead, they're going to have a tackle laid and a ball up around it. I reckon that's probably about 200 metres away from us in the commentary position.
And about half a metre from the goal line.
Yeah. So good contest here. They should just kill this ball over the boundary. A big fist coming through.
There's something going on here.
Well, I think there's a free kick. I think it's a free kick here to Lindisfarne. There's a Port player just holding his finger. I hope he's okay.
Now I think the ruckman has punched the ball through the goals.
So Lindisfarne through Harrison get the free kick for the infringement by the ruckman for the deliberate punching through, which you can't do. A rule brought in a few years ago. You must keep the ball in play unless it's a decent contest. And that's probably a misfortune there for the Southern Storm.
Yeah, that's a brain fade, I think.
It's also the positioning. I mean, you really shouldn't be punching it back towards the opposition goals. You should be punching it to the pockets. You don't want to even punch it back towards the middle of the ground. So a mistake, and in a low-scoring game, Trent Cowan, that could be costly.
Yes, it's given Lindisfarne back the lead.
So the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard, 2 goals, 1-13 to 1-3-9. I can tell you this is a really even contest. The Storm going through the season undefeated as Wooters with that only goal. A big floater coming in. Sauer gets up, drops it at the fingertips there of Sculthorpe. Laid the tackle, still an opportunity. Tight in the pocket.
Clifford.
And a minor score by Clifford. He looks dangerous, doesn't he, that forward 50?
He does. And that's what the Storm were missing in the first quarter. But again, they came in and a fumble from the forwards, and they need to grab especially chest marks. Can't afford to.
So Harris, who's
to drop those.
Probably the most important play at the moment for Lindisfarne.
Yeah,
Gaffney was in there as well. He goes, yeah, Gaffney with some run. Loves to get moving, Gaffney. On his bike was he. Out the back, should pick it up versus Dowling. Dowling's got some pressure applied here by Harrison. Harrison misses, and swinging out of that tackle is Elijah Cowan. Quick kick out here just in front of the interchange bench. And over the boundary line, just in front of Jenkins for the Two Blues.
And we saw Lindisfarne's pressure there again on Southern Storm's backs, and they're just not giving the backs time or an easy clearance.
I have a feel they've matched up really well. Lindisfarne's that quirky, isn't it? Like, dominated. They lost 2 games for the year, Lindisfarne. One was Southern Storm, and their percentage is nowhere near. Southern Storm has dominated this competition. It's quirky how some teams match up really well. This is the first time I've seen the Storm this year. They are matched up really well, I think, as well. It's actually really even contest. And a ripper here on Duff TV. I hope you're enjoying it. And a massive afternoon of football here. It's a morning start, early start. The lads are used to it. The pandemic season is coming to an end. And at the moment, we've got no idea who has the advantage. On the scoreboard suggests Lindisfarne, but in general play, it looks pretty even as Gowan's starting to get a little bit of the ball up towards the pocket. Ball spills out of the hands, and a rush kick out that I think that was that Fay there. Is he in defence now? And it might be just over the boundary line. So another stoppage here. We've seen a few. We've seen very limited free-flowing football.
No, it has been contested all the time, hasn't it?
It's enjoyable because it is close. The storyline in footy this year is tight contests pretty much in every level.
There's a clearing kick from Noah Clifford, and he's found Matthew Jareen in the centre of the ground. So
right on the cricket pitch. It's a poor kick, but it still might work out here. Sails out the back. He just needs to get the handball. Now he gets it. Gets off one. Handball's out the back. Might get it back here again. Tied in the pocket is Slater. And that's a good result, I reckon. The boundary thrown. They're good at these contested and these set plays. Soud puts his hand up to go into the ruck. Look out for the dash of Slater. They've just got that extra play in defence at the moment, though. In Moore, looks like he's just picking up a player. So rock contest around 35 metres out. Soud with his left hand. Picking out if that one is Becker. The umpire and the fans, they wanted something different. High kick in, waiting underneath that is Clark. Couldn't win his hands. Riley in there to defend for Lindisfarne. It hasn't gone far enough. That will be play on. Now it's Wooters, the goal kicker. Loses possession. Finds out towards Major, kicks into a one-on-one contest. We love to see that. Look at that contest on half-back. Just misses Eves. And a rush kick just to Devine, who's been involved throughout. It might come back again. Well, that's a strange kick. You can see he was going to kick it to Clark, but unfortunately he's missed him by about 5 metres.
Ambrose Breton just didn't hit his target there. Players actually look like it is very slippery for their boots out there.
They've got the right boots on at the moment. They might have to go back in the change rooms and just change the stops over.
They look like they're struggling to change direction.
No, and even just as you say, they're kicking. So planning it down then.
That's Jonty
Fay keeps it in front of him. Pressure coming from Fleming. And right, it's gone from one end of the ground to the other. Right forward pocket, Lindisfarne with a chance. Yeah, you're right. I actually think even stopping and just that little short kick, often if you're not planted correctly, that's when you actually slip and the ball obviously generally falls short. So playing in front's going to be a key. There's Blaisley in there, just at the back of that pack. I thought it might have actually nearly gone to him. Just shows us that it's hard to see as I've got a couple of spots of rain. We are in the outer, and a diving mark taken by Doreen. And if it does get worse, we have got a very bit of shelter here. We might have to quickly move in. But this is community football right here.
Dowling's got that one now.
No, nothing flash about Abbotsfield Park. Trent Cowan and Aaron Peach Roberts just hunkered on the balcony here. Check side kick. Clark in best position. Knocks the ball away from Jenkins. And the umpire says a hold, and Jenkins has got the free kick.
That was unnecessary, that tackle. We knew the player didn't have the ball. Strange
So
decision.
the player all by himself here. Juggling mark taken by Cutler, the goal kicker in the first quarter. And he's very much within scoring range, 35 out right forward pocket. That was some loose checking. Was just missed out. I think they may have just cheated then, the Storm, and thought they were going to get the ball on their terms and move forward. And Cutler, look at that. I'm not sure who's picking him up. So Cutler's kick on goal. He's gone across the face. It still might work out. Nearly marked by Devine. And held up in a bit of a rugby-style maul. And a dangerous throw up here for Lindisfarne.
I don't think Fay will tap this one through the
yeah, he's
goal
going
line.
completely the other direction. He's had it right towards the pocket. And that's a good option because he's got a player running out there, and then there's a mark taken by, I was going to say, Jesus Henley. So Henley off half-back. Goes high, in best position to try and win that mark was Jordan.
Wouters is tackled there.
Well, and that is the story so far. You've got to get rid of the football, and he's gesturing to the umpire. I had no chance, but that is how it's working out at the moment. Major and Devine in there. Devine misses it. Lovell applying some defensive pressure.
Jack and Queen's at the bottom of the pack.
Is that his common position, Trent? Certain guys love being there. They want to get the ball last, don't they, and hand it back to the umpire. So, contested footy. Great stuff here in the Colts grand final. Trying to spin through was Josh Code. Been a little bit quieter this quarter. Navigating some space was Lovell. Now some run by Wilton. Wilton drives a wobbly kick up towards 50 metres, up towards the inside, I should say, the 50-metre circle. Clambering after that is Clark. Is that a high tackle? It should be. It should be a free kick here to the Southern Storm. And they'll need it because they're under some pressure. And Jonty Fay will take it.
I'd say the game still hasn't settled. And
there's no clear storyline at the moment. I can't. Yeah, you're right. It's a good culture, and I think at the moment there's no flow, there's no continuity. I think some players are getting lots of the ball, but they're getting it in positions which doesn't really assist their team. As a juggling mark taken. So Lindisfarne launch forward, and once again it's going back and forth, and this half forward's had a bit of the work as at the back of that is Kringle. He still might get onto it. Now's a chance. Rush kick. It just needed to be a little bit cleaner.
It's Matthew Doreen coming through, taking the ball.
Now Lindisfarne with numbers. Smashing his way through there, it's Kringle.
Very good handball.
Gee, that was neat. And Becker to the middle of the ground. Too easy with the push off there by Devine. Starting to get a little bit of the ball towards half forward and looks dangerous. Scooping down is it Harrison. Harrison going to work onto it. Grabbed down. Dished out by hands was Clifford. Didn't really find a teammate. Harrison again. Harrison lucky. Swings it around. Swings around again. Shot on goal by Fleming. I think Fleming's got it.
Great
yes,
play.
he has. Danger signs and a low-scoring clash, and Lindisfarne have an early break. And I reckon we see this on the Mood Food replay. There's that just hack forward kick, but not sure why. Must have been touched.
Yeah, he's definitely played on.
Way too much time. In fact, that was Foster, I should say, not Fleming. We are a little away from this action here. We've got a little screen in front of us, but outside it's not the greatest to see, so apologies there. That was Fleming with a smart manoeuvring his space and finding his right boot. And a lead here is handy, 19 points. 3-1-19 to 1-4-10. And the first decent break in a low-scoring grand final. That handball's missed its mark. Here it comes. Sculthorpe just needed a run and put a bit more pressure on then. Kringle goes forward. Sale's got 2 to beat. It's going to have to be a fist. And there is. And a minor score knocked through by Walker. So Walker's got a player in the middle here. It's high kick. It's a good kick. And over the top, he's got another player in Jenkins. He decides he's going to laterally move the ball. Spilt mark by Riley. Riley goes again, has enough time to dish it up towards the half-forward line. 1-on-1 contest. Southern Storm with the numbers. And a nice little dish-out handball there by Code. Fist coming through. Eves. Can the Storm build? It's feel they're starting to get that run out of the middle, but it's here where it's broken down because defence been so good. Zhao can't get it. Crumbing ball, kick off the ground. That's kicked off the ground by the defender. Reaching down is trying to grab that one is Harris, and a free kick. It's a free kick, and that is very disappointing. So Harris deep in defence. That's just annoying, isn't it, Trent?
Yeah, they moved the ball in well then.
That's probably their best passage to play, wasn't it, so far? No one there to receive that handball. Major in there. Ball's kicked up towards centre half forward. It's just opened up a little bit as both teams starting to move the ball with a little bit more pace as we're getting some raindrops on us. Harris. It's only a little shower and Harris now has it for Lindisfarne. So a few undisciplined free kicks given out.
Yeah, Lindisfarne appear to be leading the Storm boys to the footy.
Yeah, you're right. They're playing in front. Henley on that occasion, though. Probably a poor option with a kick. And he has it here at centre half back for the Storm. Once again, we're seeing that, what Trent Cowan's mentioned. The kicks are missing their mark. They're a little sloppy. They're ending up in front because of the slippery conditions. 2 Blues with 2 players against 1 here for the Storm. And they should win it out, and they have via William Harris. Harris's kick's okay as it's thumped away by Eves. Left forward pockets where the ball is now. Wilton couldn't get it. High kick to the top of the square. And that's probably the way it's got to play because 2 Lindisfarne players jumped for the football and the 1 Storm player
Lindisfarne
stood down.
leading to the ball again. That's where Storm's breaking down.
Feel like their half forwards aren't pushing further up, or they're actually not in the right spots at the moment. Just need to nudge their way up the ground at the moment. One of those is Duggan. Just looks like he's just leaning down, sucking some oxygen in. Quick kick out of the pack by Gowans. We're nearly half time, and I reckon it's going to come for us in the commentary box because we're going to need to find some cover. And I tell you what, Storm won a goal late. They've got about 10 seconds to get it. Flat 20 minutes unless a stretcher or a blood rule here in the grand final. And there is the noise. It's a short, sharp blow. It's a lead to the 2 Blues. Have we got an upset on the cards here in the Colts grand final? The Storm undefeated. Won easily through to the grand final last week against New Norfolk, but they got their hands tied at the moment against a very good defensive unit here. And some words from you, Trent Cowan.
Yeah, it appears that Lindisfarne's got the upper hand at the moment. I think they're leading the Storm to the ball. And Storm haven't got those clean hands when it counts. They've had chances on the forward line, but the ball's been fumbled. A couple of chest marks have been dropped. And whereas Lindisfarne have been able to, from probably not as many opportunities in that quarter, scored the 2 goals.
Yeah, it's been a ripping, contested, slippery, tough grand final. Goal kickers, Foster with 1 late, Cutler and Harrison. And the only goal kicker is Wooters. It's 3-1-19 in the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. 1 goal, 6-12. Half-time in the Colts Elevate Wealth Grand Final. We're going to take a break and we're back in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. I hope you're enjoying the coverage on Duff TV. We'll be back soon.
In the 1800s, we began carving a living from the forests of the South, learning to use the right tool for the job, making sure the job was done just right. Well, our history continues to shape our future. Mighty local, mighty helpful. Claremont, Mitre 10.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property for your market appraisal.
Come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, but
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Centrally located on Level 2, 15 Victoria Street in the heart of Hobart CBD, Elevate Wealth is the home for all your financial advice needs. Delivering financial advice to all Tasmanians, Elevate Wealth ensures it provides its clients with certainty, clarity and direction with confidence. Whether it's superannuation or investment advice, cash flow and budgeting, insurance or wealth protection, help with Centrelink or retirement planning, the team at Elevate Wealth are here to help. Elevate Wealth is a proud sponsor of the Southern Football League 2020 Final Series and is offering the local community a no-obligation, free advice consultation that can be registered via the following link. Elevate Wealth, supporting local grassroots football, building stronger ties with the Tasmanian local community.
At Claremont Mitre 10, we've been around for a while. In the 1800s, we began carving a living from the forests of the South, learning to use the right tool for the job, making sure the job was done just right. Well, our history continues to shape our future. Mighty local, mighty helpful. Claremont Mitre 10.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property for your market appraisal.
come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, but
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place. In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Centrally located on Level 2, 15 Victoria Street in the heart of Hobart CBD, Elevate Wealth is the home for all your financial advice needs. Delivering financial advice to all Tasmanians, Elevate Wealth ensures it provides its clients with certainty, clarity and direction with confidence. Whether it's superannuation or investment advice, cash flow and budgeting, insurance or wealth protection, help with Centrelink or retirement planning, the team at Elevate Wealth are here to help. Elevate Wealth is a proud sponsor of the Southern Football League 2020 Final Series and is offering the local community a no-obligation, free advice consultation that can be registered via the following link. Elevate Wealth, supporting local grassroots football, building stronger ties with the Tasmanian local community.
At Claremont Mitre 10, we've been around for a while. In the 1800s, we began carving a living from the forests of the south, learning to use the right tool for the job, making sure the job was done just right. Well, our history continues to shape our future. Mighty local, mighty helpful. Claremont Mitre 10.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property for your market appraisal.
come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, but
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now. Drive to the edge of the map and then drive further.
Centrally located on Level 2, 15 Victoria Street in the heart of Hobart CBD, Elevate Wealth is the home for all your financial advice needs. Delivering financial advice to all Tasmanians, Elevate Wealth ensures it provides its clients with certainty, clarity and direction with confidence. Whether it's superannuation or investment advice, cash flow and budgeting, insurance or wealth protection, help with Centrelink or retirement planning, the team at Elevate Wealth are here to help. Elevate Wealth is a proud sponsor of the Southern
Duff TV.
Football League 2020 Final Series and is offering the local community a no obligation free advice consultation that can be registered via the following link.
Scoreboard, bottom
Elevate
left
Wealth,
of the screen.
supporting local.
It indicates 3-1-19 to Lindisfarne, 1-5-11. And a nervous Trent Cowan on my right-hand side. What do the Storm boys need to do to get their way back into this match?
Well, coach has asked them to
Well,
work.
I mean, it's only 9 points, or I should say it's only 8 points, but what do they need to do?
Yeah, coach has asked them to work harder. I guess the Storm have had more scoring shots, but he's asked the forwards to get in front and give more, and asked all the players to give more and get more involved in the game.
So just that energy and motivation. There's Wilton and Co in there. There's some pressure applied here.
Yep.
Wilton can't win the football and just booted off the ground by Clifford.
Yeah, that pressure by Lindisfarne's been the difference, isn't it?
It's coming again as jumping up as Fleming.
Storm had clear possession then, and just the pressure.
Here it's going to come back again, although that one's been marked. But then look at the slipping over was Clifford. Just needed to be more composed. Dancing around one way. Some numbers out here as dish out by Wooters. Needs to get involved in the game, but it's been so good today. Becca's kick, slippery, and it's pretty much exactly the same optics as the first half, isn't it, Trent? Slippery, tough, contested football.
Yeah, there's the drizzly rain there now too, so it's not going to get any drier. It's going to be these conditions for the whole game.
So ruck contest is reaching up to grab that one. Code. It's been a little quiet, but Code's moved it on and found McQueen. McQueen hasn't had a lot of the ball. That's a strange kick from McQueen. I assume that just slid off the boot. You can see the difficulty there as Moore's taken a juggling mark.
Yeah, I think Storm's playing a little too wide as well. They're getting sucked into these wide wings.
They're not laterally moving, are they? They're just kicking out in a very defensive style of football. Gamble over the top by Harris. The snap is high. It's in the pocket. Contest down here. Punch through from behind. That's a good result because they didn't want a boundary throw in. And the ball's now. There's young Braid. He's got it.
Rawnsley,
should say Rawnsley. Rawnsley plays on the long sleeves. Brings out the attacking side. Just need a little bit more commitment then from Brereton. I think went one hand. There's plenty of commitment from Clark.
There's the pressure again.
Really hot stuff as Lindisfarne dominating the first footy. And they're getting to it first, and there's some fists. And Rawnsley knocks it over the boundary line. So the rain is just starting to tumble. It's a nor'westerly at the moment, which actually brings the rain to us here in the northern suburbs, just off the hills. And we've got the umbrella up. We've nudged ourselves just under a little veranda.
Let's head to a dangerous spot.
My word it is. But numbers here is just trying to tap the ball in front of himself is Kringle. Nearly to Wilton. Wilton's tackled. And that should be just a bowl up. There's Wilton's grab to the ground. And Rawnsley involved again. He's been involved, Trent, because the ball's pretty much been there for the first 3 minutes.
Yeah. Lindisfarne's got a few free players here.
This might work out okay for the Storm. It's dished out towards Henley. Henley's left boot's been smothered. Snap on goal here by the Fund. It's to the left. And a minor score with the lead out to 10 points.
It was a clever little tap there by the Lindisfarne player. They're using their bodies very well to assist their teammates.
Look at this pressure, though. Look at this from Lindisfarne. They're just smothering the kickouts at the moment. That's a clever tap, though. Finds Cowan. Cowan knocks the ball out further to a running Clifford. Clips the ball further up further. This is okay now. Slater stops. Slater's kick's okay up towards the pocket, trying to find Fay. Fay's now in the forward line, so he's obviously been moved forward. What are the other changes at the moment from the Storm, Trent, that you can see out there after half-time?
I think Jonty Fay has gone to...
Yeah, he's gone forward, or certainly to half-forward.
Did you just say that?
Yep.
That means Kringle's gone to the back line.
Yeah, just saw Kringle a few moments ago. So ruck contest here, that Fay, as we just mentioned.
He's a long way from the forward line.
He's going to have to get involved because he's a good player. And the balls are slipping out of the fingers. I've seen a lot of that. The hands, we've only seen, what 5 marks, I reckon, or a half a dozen marks probably in the whole game. And even the ones on the chest are hard to grab. As Fay in the ruck. He's up against Jenkins, who's just coming to the ruck late in that second quarter. Code tight, cramped up, and out of bounds. See some hardy supporters there underneath the pine trees. A favourite spot for the opposition supporters to come. And they're sitting underneath their umbrellas at the moment, just in front of their car. So good atmosphere at the moment. Probably more Southern Storm supporters at the moment. Riley. Harris in defence for at the moment for Lindisfarne. Brereton was up high, couldn't mark the football. Now it's Cowan. Cowan's handball not spot on, just missing his targets. Been the story so far as Lovell gets his arms up and tries to dish it out. Up towards Slater. Slater turns, rush kick. Needed to be a bit more composed because it's some defensive work coming through from the defenders for Lindisfarne. Snap in a pocket there by Clifford. Still hasn't been one out here. Now's an opportunity. Nearly won by Wooters. Wooters goes back again. It might pop out of the back of the pack. It's still there. Now it's Sap Sow, kicks up high. I don't think it's got the distance. Yes, it has. Will that lift the boys from south of the saddle? And suddenly, the vice-captain and their star forward kicks a winning goal, or certainly a motivating goal to get them going. And we'll see in the Move Food replay here, Trent, this is kind of like a Lindisfarne goal in the first quarter. They kept the ball in. Wooter was good. He didn't go and try and win the football here. This little tap there, and then in the right spot was Connor. And that's a great snap.
Yeah, and that's forward pressure by Southern Storm that time.
But good structures. I mean, a few times 2 players going and trying to win the ball. Wooter stayed out. Soward stayed out. Eventually the ball popped out. And that's a quality snap from the VC.
Yeah, and as you alluded to there, Southern Storm's overdoing the handball and they're not finding their targets enough with it.
Lovell out of the middle, and the kick's missed his mark. Well, it's been claimed here by Wooters. Wooters plays on really quickly, up to half forward. Soward in best position. Couldn't mark it. Some defensive work required by Walker. Walker's pushed off the ball, running in tough and applying some pressure. It's Fay out of bounds. Good result. So maybe a turn here in the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. It's less than a kick on a cool and cloudy. You know, this is the only wet day apparently in 14 days in southern Tassie. I looked at the weather forecast the last 7, although there's a bit of rain early. The next 10 days, sunny and clear. Unfortunate we've got a cloudy one, but certainly it's hot out there at the moment. Getting a bit of the ball is Lovell, isn't he? Lovell dishes out the handball to Clifford, who's just moved up to the half forward. Climb up. Has that got touched? I think it has. Hit the post anyway, and a minor score. So some change to the momentum, and I'll be intrigued what Shane Cranfield will need to do to get Lindisfarne composed. They still got the lead though. This is kind of reminiscent of the game during the year, wasn't it? Where Lindisfarne jumped it. Who worked the Storm back into that game during the roster season against Lindisfarne, Trent?
Soward and Wouters did the scoring.
I think Sauer he's kicked over 30 goals this year, hasn't he? So he's had
Yeah.
a good year. What have those been? Mostly sort of marks, defensive, or sorry, one-on-one contests?
Yeah, lots of marks. He's developed, improved his set shots, which has been a big improvement. And he's a lot fitter than he's been in past years as well.
Well, this is where they've been really good. Lindisfarne as Harrison got taken without the football. Geez, he's been energetic. Really enjoyed watching his game. Kicks it up. Major in front position. In fact, that's Wilton. Wilton couldn't get the mark. Juggled out of his fingertips. Crashed into the tackle. Was Lovell. And the umpire says high tackle. And you can just see the emotion at the moment as both teams know the pressure's on. It's a poor kick. That lateral movement again's just been off a little bit. And that's a terrible result. Out of bounds. Dowling had no chance of getting that one. Deep pockets as well. It's a big ground here at Abbotsfield Park.
Yeah, many teams come out here and are lured to the deep pockets and the wide wings.
Oh, well. Nothing to be found in those deep pockets, I can tell you.
There's no goals out there.
Yeah, nothing out there at all. Becker onto his non-preferred. And waiting in defence is Dowling. Takes an easy chest mark. Let's be interesting to see this kick here from Dowling, because it's probably the first time they've taken. So he's gone wide again. You know what? He's gone wide. He's going to hit a bonnet of the car. And Trent Cowan nearly jumped out of his seat. He's onto his second coffee here in the commentary position. We've nudged 5 metres back. We're under a veranda. We've got the Claremont women's team having a bit of a party to the right. They're singing some classic 80s songs at the moment. They've had about 15 litres of espresso martini. So they're enjoying their grand final win. Nearly grabbed by Devine.
Yeah, that was very close to a mark.
Wilton, geez, he looks dangerous, Wilton, but gamely defending as Dowling has had 6 or 7 touches, but Lindisfarne have been so good at getting this ball rushed back inside their forward 50, constantly putting pressure on the defenders for the Storm, and that's unlucky out of bounds. We've got a wet monitor. We've got Jack Duffy, who, tell you what, we had some pressure at half time. We've got the young Duffettes here. They're on their L plates, I think, still at the moment. I've got no idea. I'm a Luddite when it comes to technology. I was just hoping nothing went wrong. I've got to say, Jack Duffy has a smile on his face. If Martin or Jared Martindale, the #1 pots and pans man in Tassie, listening to the telecast, it was chaos about 11 minutes ago as we had to move everything. And out of bounds. This is community football. We've got the split stream. We've got the A-grade team coming up. Tubes Taylor for the Colts grand final. I'll be there for the seniors. Really enjoying this game. I've been looking forward to this game all week. There's a battle of the Hewen and Doreen. High kick, right fist of ease, out of bounds.
That one was touched off the boot there. No.
It's been stuck over that pocket for a while, or that sort of flank for a while. I feel like the players are moving to that southern side of Abbotsfield Park to try and attack to either goal. Leading to the ball first was Ronsley. He again then gets tackled to the ground.
And gone back into this pattern of stoppage football, haven't we? Throw in ball ups.
I think this suits Lindisfarne, doesn't it, Trent?
Yeah.
Because they like getting it out quick. They've got a good forward line set up. Devine looks dangerous up forward. He's got a one-on-one contest. He's got tremendous defender in Dowling next to him. Like to see the ball rushed in there in a hurry. And tell you what, Becker's getting a bit of the ball. He looks tough. Just the kicks at the moment, just a little rushed. Foster trying to squeeze his way through a small space was Harrison. Couldn't find an exit. And a ball up. So stagnant football at the moment in the Colts grand final. Clark's been a bit quiet. Lovell kicks it up towards Clark. He gets there first. Drives it forward. Ball's dropped. Spinning out of the tackle was Jordan. The umpire said holding the football. Now Sculthorpe into the forward 50. One-on-one. Wants a free kick, Soward. Not getting it. You can ask all you like, but the umpire doesn't blow the whistle. You're never going to get it. Cutler is playing off half back at the moment.
I've seen Soward appeal for a free kick on a couple of occasions. Yeah,
he looks a little frustrated. Might get it back again. Clifford, dash. And Soward at the back, juggled mark. Well, there you go. Just go for the football. Sculthorpe, in fact. Don't worry about the opponent, as a southerly feels like it swung around. And here in the Mood Food replay, juggle. There you go, 3. So Blake Sculthorpe directly in front. And after all the dominance of Lindisfarne,
I think there's a yellow card or a green card here.
So Lindisfarne player.
No, Southern Storm.
It's a Southern Storm player. Who's that going off? So they can be replaced with a green card. The lettuce.
Will it be a reverse kick?
You'd think it must have happened. Seems strange as a Lindisfarne player just holding his head here at the moment. But it still looks like there's a kick because the umpire's on the mark. He's indicating Sculthorpe to just straighten himself up a little bit. Major looks a little sore and sorry for himself. He's having a chat to the umpire.
He looks very groggy.
Sculthorpe. Massive kick. That's a goal. Stands up straight to the umpire, and Sculthorpe stands up straight for the Southern Storm. And for the first time in this game, they're in front.
I'm not sure what happened there with the green card.
Anything I can think of, it happened. Well, if it happened afterwards, it's a free kick. I mean, a green doesn't always mean. Might just didn't quite get a replay, but that was a Move Food replay of the goal from Sculthorpe. And there's the JMC scoreboard. 3 goals, 6-24 to 3-21. The Elevate Wealth SFL final series. It's the last week. There's only a few more junior finals to go, and we are done. The Development League Grand Final between North Lonnie and Lonnie at the moment. A big game between two teams that absolutely hate each other, and two teams that hate each other in a few hours' time. The Huonville Lions, the merged team from the Valley, up against their major rival in Cygnet. The Southern Storm Juniors, though, got to get a run forward again.
It's going to be a very important 5 minutes coming up here.
Tell you what, Trent, I reckon you're spot on, mate. Faye in there again. And I reckon it's dropped about 4 degrees as we've just seen an umbrella scoot across in front of us. Might start getting dangerous, as I reckon. The westerlies kicked in and it's bringing some rain down onto the ground here at Abbotsfield Park. It's not going to make too much difference to the contest because it's slippery already. It's only going to make it more in tight and in close. Clark's
got it out the back there.
Yep, that's good.
And Jonty Faye.
Gee, what? That's a fantastic mark by Faye. The quick ball movement in. And Faye, tight in the pocket. There we go, Clark on his non-preferred. Well, he actually went on his preferred kick. And there's some defensive pressure coming in. Wasn't enough from Riley. And he turned it over. And a shot here from Faye. What's his shots like, Trent?
Very good. He's really worked on his kicking and improved it. And
he's got a nice slow approach. Leans back a little bit. Is that going to help? I think it's a goal. Sculthorpe raises, and little change in this game as some neat football. Yeah, and young Johnny Faye's got his first.
Yeah, he's exceptional marker of the ball, Johnny Faye.
That's probably the best mark we've seen today, wasn't it?
He's got good elevation and can take a great leap over his head.
So the pressure now back on Lindisfarne. Can the boys from the Eastern Shore respond? These two teams have got a great rivalry. They were so good late Lindisfarne last week over Huonville. They had the run, the energy. Their midfield were dominant. Their forward line looked energetic. Really like Devine up there and Wilton. They need a lift.
Big guns are in the middle for the Storm with Clifford, Clark, Code and Lovell.
Well, Clark got his hand to it. Code, a lot of the ball in the first quarter. Starting to win a little bit more of the possession. Well, I think we thought that was a mark. They're probably holding the ball as Eves.
Yeah, need to play the whistle.
Rutherford kicks it off the ground in towards Foster. And Lindisfarne trying to go forward again. Over the back of that pack was Harrison. Reaching down nice and low was Brereton. Brereton's kicks is spot on to Wooters.
Brereton's been very good on the back line for Storm.
Wooters now. Gee, just at the back of that one. Nearly had it. Now it's towards Major. Now they're asking for a deliberate. They're not going to get it. And a player down here for the Storm too.
Jonty Faye. Connor Soward.
No, I think it's Soward, isn't it? Sure what happened. So the umpire's blown the whistle. So he's actually blown time off here at the moment as a trainer comes on. Just going to see here in the contest. Yeah, Soward looked like he twisted his ankle there when his Soward landed, but yeah, he's a little sore. This is a big moment. I think he's done his ankle. So a huge moment in this game. The star full forward for the Southern Storm is being helped off the ground. We're 17 gone here in the grand final. You want to move a bit quicker, although he can't because Clark in the ruck. wins it, taps it, nearly a throw. There has to be a throw. The hands are above the head. He went from high to low. And Soward slowly choping himself off with two trainers, helping him off the ground. So a big 3 minutes. Lindisfarne to try and respond. And the Southern Storm, who are technically a player down at the moment, they've got to try and rebuild again. Ball's kicked inside their forward 50. They've got numbers around that. There's a dangerous Fay. Fay dishes out. Clark steadies. Dribbles towards the forward 50. Contest there. Sculthorpe in there. I reckon that's a free kick he's given away. That's disappointing. And it's annoying by Blake. And deep in defence. Missed opportunity, but he's starting to walk by himself, Sal, but he's trying to jog, but I reckon that might be just the adrenaline at the moment.
It's taken him a long time to get off.
I reckon it's been there's a 50-metre penalty here as well. So 1.5 minutes gone. Last quarter action coming up. 9 points in it on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. I reckon he's got about 40 metres. And the ball in the hands of Samuel Major. He's had a good game. He's been involved in all the quarters so far. That kick's not great, just across the cricket pitch. Wooters lays pressure. Wooters, massive moment, because they're away. Play on here. Scooped off the ground by Clifford. Then he loses. That's going to be another.
That was
see the replay. That was
players.
Absolutely magnificent. Sculthorpe now leads to the ball first. Misses him. Kick off the ground by Eves. That's being touched. Whew.
That was close.
Looked like there might have been a late goal there to Storm, and I can tell you that would make things very difficult for the two Blues. They're now coming from behind, 10 points of difference. They've been a dominant 5 minutes here after Lindisfarne dominated early. Devine's gone to the half-back line to try and get a bit of possession. Barwick in there for the two Blues. Clark again into the pocket. Fay, has he got enough space?
That's out of bounds.
It is. He wasn't too happy as Major stuffs it back into his stomach. And I reckon Major's just going to run the clock down here. Smart play from him. Get it long and get yourself in at three-quarter time. Barwick there, out of bounds.
Wait for the siren there, I think.
And a little bit of a scuffle. And the hooter blows. And you feel the Storm just lifting late. Their VC Sow going off limping. Some smiles down below us from the faithful from the Southern Storm. And once again, goal kickers. Fay with one, Sculthorpe, Soward with a brilliant snap, which really got the Southern Storm going. Wooters with that goal. And for the others, the Lindisfarne two Blues, Harrison Dangerous, Foster, and Christopher, I should say Billy Cutler with the other goal. He kicked the first. And on the Jackson Motors Company scoreboard, 4-7 to 3-3. 10 points of difference. Trent Cowan, some words from you.
Well, Storm have hit the lead, as you say, but probably could have been further in front. I was disappointed with their disposal by foot, and they missed a number of targets, and they're usually really good at stringing kicks to advantage together, 4 or 5 kicks from the back line to create a scoring opportunity. But today, perhaps the ball's really slippery. Those kicks aren't working, and especially that quarter, there were, several kicks went out of bounds on the full, and other kicks are sliding off the side of the foot, just not hitting targets as they should be.
Been tough for both sides. The first 6 minutes, absolute dominance from Lindisfarne as they came out after half-time and dominated the forward pressure with that dangerous forward line that they've got. They probably haven't kicked the goals, but Wilton and Devine were involved a lot. There was some brilliant defence from Dowling and Rawnsley. They just kept their nerve. A couple of late goals. Gives the Storm the lead here. The undefeated team against the upstart two Blues. We'll be back in a few moments for the culmination of the Colts SFL Grand Final here in Duff TV. Don't go anywhere. Back soon.
Centrally located on Level 2, 15 Victoria Street in the heart of Hobart CBD, Elevate Wealth is the home for all your financial advice needs. Delivering financial advice to all Tasmanians, Elevate Wealth ensures it provides its clients with certainty, clarity and direction with confidence. Whether it's superannuation or investment advice, cash flow and budgeting, insurance or wealth protection, help with Centrelink or retirement planning, the team at Elevate Wealth are here to help. Elevate Wealth is a proud sponsor of the Southern Football League 2020 Final Series and is offering the local community a no-obligation, free advice consultation that can be registered via the following link. Elevate Wealth, supporting local grassroots football, building stronger ties with the Tasmanian local community.
At Claremont Mitre 10, we've been around for a while. In the 1800s, we began carving a living from the forests of the south, learning to use the right tool for the job, making sure the job was done just right. Well, our history continues to shape our future. Mighty local, mighty helpful. Claremont Mitre 10.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property, for your market appraisal.
Come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, but
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
All it does is call. And when you hear it, then it's up to you to act. Know your limits and come back for them later. Forget yesterday and tomorrow. Be here now.
Final finish here.
Drive to
The Elevate Wealth SFL final series. We're at the Colts. The Claremont ladies winning last night in a ripping clash against the Hillville Lions. They're partying still to my right here. Trent Cowan in the commentary position. What can we expect with those late goals from the Storm? Can you see where Soward is at the moment? I think he's on the bench by the look of it.
Yeah, he's not on the forward line.
So kicking towards us this quarter, the Storm.
Andrew Lovell asked for a premiership quarter from these boys at half time, and I guess in 20 minutes we'll know if it was. I hope they don't think their work's over.
Yeah, just a few little things in the last minute there. Felt like the Storm got a bit confident. They got their mojo going. But I think there's something here in this Lindisfarne team. There's some belief. And I can tell you what, their forward pressure in probably about 7 minutes over 2 periods in that third quarter, we're right next to the siren here as well, is elite. So they're still in it. Can they build again? Major in the ruck, so they've made some changes. Dragged off that one, thrown to the ground was Walker. So it looks like he's going to go forward. Scooping the ball and tapping in front of himself is Foster. Foster goes down and tries to win the football. Barwick comes in late, started to get involved late in that third quarter, Barwick. Still not out. This is what they did so well. That's a throw from Becker. Not called by the umpire. Probably didn't quite see it. Climbing up high, nearly taking it. Rawnsley's been brilliant in defence, and that kick's cleared and out of bounds.
And that was the first clean possession of the quarter, but
in fact, it's out of full.
It's still gone out of bounds.
Yeah, geez, I've had a lot of those. Short kick, just dropping in front. Pulling up the ideal. Not a bad spot to put it. Let's see if Lindisfarne can do what they did early and just keep putting pressure on it, knocking that ball further back in. Foster misses that one. Down on his knees is Riley.
Clifford's got that one out.
So we're out here. Eves. Keep it in front of yourself, mate. Maybe even kick it off the grounds. Not a bad option. Tighten the pocket. The dangerous Fay. Fay dishes it out. finds another dangerous Doreen.
Too many handballs.
You're right, though, that one too many. Nearly just need to snap that because it's not a day for fancy football. Major on the ball. Kicks it up towards the middle of the ground. Numbers here favouring, and that's clever. Here's some use of the football. Cowan by the Elijah Ride variety. Kicks it up to half forward. I reckon his target was Sculthorpe. Dashing through and trying to win that footy. And here they go again.
Moving the ball through the centre of the ground.
That was Holdsworth. Holdsworth run on here. Fox. We might hear that name later today. The older Fox. And a minor score. So the first score in the last quarter here to Lindisfarne. Even start. Marked here in half-back.
Rawnsley to Cohen again. There's something happening there between those
they've got a little thing going on. Do they go to school together? I feel like they know each other well, don't they? There we go. That's the first time I've seen someone show a bit. It's a rush kick because waiting there patiently was Rutherford, but it's hard to mark, isn't it?
No movement up the field. That's what they were looking for, but nothing coming. Here's Sculthorpe.
So Sculthorpe with some dash. Sculthorpe, we just needed. Lucky, I can tell you what, Trent, lucky the boundary's so wide because on any other ground that would be out of bounds on the full, but you can see the wide flanks of Abbotsfield Park here in Claremont.
Again, the bad disposal by Storm.
That can't be a slippery ball because it shouldn't shank like that off your boot. Even there's a bit of dew on it, it shouldn't matter. We have had a little bit of rain. I reckon it's warmed up a couple of degrees in the last few minutes. It's heating up down there on the ground. Ball called. Becker had it. Handball missed, but slips out to Eves.
There's Wouters with the kick forward.
That's a high flight. There's a little hold off the ball here, and wanting a hold was Fay. Fay's not going to get it. The umpire did not see. He's just held it 5 or 6 metres off the ball there. So kicked out by Moore. Trying to sneak and win that out was Rawnsley. It's just come up the ground. Barwick with another touch. 1-on-1 contest here at half forward. Dashing it around. Geez, he's been good, Wilton. That's clever because he's steady. Kicks it into some territory.
Lindisfarne have the numbers here.
My word, they do. Fox gets there first. Misses Fox. Going back to get it is Cooper Eves. Now it's Holdsworth, and it's out of bounds in front of him. It's a ripper. It's 11 points the difference. In fact, it's 9 points the difference on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. Neither team have managed a decent chance in the first 4 minutes of this last quarter of this team's season. Too easy out of the ruck was Divine. In the end,
well, that was
a little bit of pressure.
Fortunate or unfortunate.
Well, yeah, either way. Well, we'll say we're not biased up here. That was unfortunate for Lindisfarne and fortunate for the Storm. So they're going to try and attack where they've attacked all day, which is wide on the boundary line. Old sort of style of football.
Lindisfarne seem to have the extra numbers around the contests so far.
I think they've actually made a couple of changes too, so that's helping them at the moment. They're very much in this game, even though they've only scored the 3 goals. They're going to need to kick they're going to need to kick 3 maybe. I imagine the Storm will get 1 in this quarter, but if they can hold them scoreless, their odds on chance to win this one. Clark in front position. Over the top was Major. A lot of players around this pack. Barwick with a punch. Tries to thump it forward inside the forward 50. Trying to win that one is Lovell.
It's out to a dangerous spot there.
My word. Tackle laid, knocked to the ground. Gaffney. Clever. That's great by Eves. Eves with a bit of poise. Kick's not going to advantage him. It's going to probably come back in via Riley. Riley misses him. Riley throws Lovell off the ball. A shoveling handball thrown out by the Lindisfarne player. Kicks up towards half forward. One out here, straight to Harrison. Harrison, snap is touched. That was lucky. It's starting to clear here too. Ben Duffy just in front of us on the camera. He's got toilet paper in one hand. And that's to wipe the lens of the screen, and Major nearly marked it. Just spilled out.
Noah Clifford, who's been a very good player today, appears to be limping on the forward line for Storm, so that's a concern.
So their forward line at the moment, no Soward up there, the number 15, with a twister. Well, we think it certainly turned his ankle when he fell and then took about 5 minutes to get off the ground. He was reluctant, and then he tried to jog right in front of the coach. Into come, I'm okay, coach, I can still go. He's telling Andrew Lovell, I'm good to go, but he certainly won't come back on if he's injured.
There's the numbers of Lindisfarne again.
Yeah, it's Samuel Gowans has had a little bit of the ball. He's been good in those contested areas. Thumping to the ground. Nice tackle by Foster. It's actually opened up the play a little bit. I reckon that's because the players are a little tired.
They are very tired.
Bashed off the ground by Millwood for the two Blues. Great. Oh, nearly a great mark by Eves. They're dominating here at the moment, but they're just not getting a score because the defence from the Southern Storm has been magnificent.
Here's a player loose. Ethan Lovell.
So Lovell, half back. The short kick's okay. Wooters has come a long way up to get that one. He's just got Millwood in front of him. Wooters tries to find Eves. Eves doesn't mark it. And the quick hack out there by Moore, and it's been turned over again. So actually in the matter, Southern Storm doing what Lindisfarne did in that first half, just pressing up and causing the turnover. So high kick. Neither team with a possession there. Major nearly got the football. Now he goes back in to try and get that one out of the pack, and he can't. And a ball up.
Now we're about 60 metres from Southern Storm's goals. Ryan Clark's has rucked all day.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there another rucker? Because he hasn't been as good in the second half, has he? Although he got a little of the ball late in that third quarter and set up one goal.
Yeah.
He certainly could see some players just hunched over. Clark is one of them. He's going to have to push. He's going to have to find a bit more. There's still 12 minutes of football left. Barwick's been magnificent. There we go, slipping over. Okay, had a teammate to give it to. Kick out the back, up towards the cricket pitch in the middle of Abbotsfield Park. Race on here.
Dowling's really struggling there.
Yeah, well, Fox has got a bit of... I'll tell you what, there's a couple of Lindisfarne players that just have a little bit more energy at the moment. Clark. Drag to the ground was Dowling. Couple of holes, just dashing here on the side is Moore. Moore, don't argue, off one. Little chippy kick up towards half forward. They get this over the boundary line. It's a good result for Lindisfarne because Wilton was dashing out and they're 40 metres out from their goal. Super finish here to this grand final.
Yeah, we've got 11 minutes to go.
I can tell you, Trent Cowan next to me. I don't know what you're like normally, Trent, but you're wiggling and squirming a bit, mate.
I am. I'm very anxious.
I did a 16 grand final in Northern Tassie a few weeks ago, and I had a parent in there. It was the East Coast Swans, actually, or the East Coast Giants, and he was jumping up and out of his seat. At one stage, he knocked my drink over. But you've brought your own coffee, so you've done the right thing. As we can hear in the effects, Mike, unfortunately, another classic John Farnham song coming out of the Claremont girls. Party time for them. One of these teams are going to have a party late. They'll be drinking lots of soft drink because most of them are underage. And a bowl up. So Lindisfarne are holding this bowl inside their forward 50. Clark in the ruck.
Another smother.
Still hasn't got out. And a score. They're doing it in behinds at the moment, Lindisfarne. And they're back within 7 points. So I mentioned they might needed 3 goals, but they might only need 2 because they've kicked so many behinds. The Jackson Motor Company's scoreboard, 4-7-31 to 3-6-24.
Dowling's too slow moving the ball there.
Just undecided, but they're a bit flat-footed at half back as well, aren't they?
And another terrible kick.
So Lindisfarne with their best opportunity. Throw in here in the pocket. Clark comes in late. Well, that was lucky because it's fallen fortunately to Josh Code, who just kicks it out to some territory. A race on here. Millwood misses him. Cowan trying to go back and win the football, then he applies some pressure. Still live here, this football.
Oh, that's a poor option for a handball. Why not just kick it?
Yeah, I think in this late stage, on a slippery day in a grand final, you lead by 7 points, the ball's inside the opposition's defensive 70 metres, and you try and hit up a player in a one-on-one handball. It's probably not the best. Millwood's been good. I think he's moved into the ruck at the moment. And you can see the players sliding and diving. The player there, Lindisfarne supporter over there, asking for something. the universal signal. You're not happy, you're throwing your arms out, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he was trying, convince the umpire. The umpiring's been absolutely outstanding today. Great job for the umpires. And we had the presentation here of one of these teams, and at the moment, I don't reckon I've got any idea that Storm lead by 7 points, but the general play is Lindisfarne 2 Blues.
Some of those players look very weary, and
it's slowed down, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you can understand why. The amount of ball ups and boundary throw-ins and contests and tackles been laid today.
Gowan's
incredible.
Gowan's been good in this last quarter. He's trying to lift his team. The Farne are looking, they're coming. Becker. And thumped down by Cooper Eves. And that can't be out of bounds, deliberate. And still, that fan there from Lindisfarne asking, come on, give me a free kick to Lindisfarne.
Yeah, I think they were calling that it come off the shin, the Storm player.
Certainly a long way from us, the umpire in best position. It's Duff TV, grand final in the Colts. It's the undefeated Southern Storm from south of the saddle up against their fierce rival from the Eastern Shore, Lindisfarne. And that's holding the footy, so they're going to win one here.
I think he got slung 720, not just 360 there. Cohen's going the barrel.
It's a wobbly one at best. Hasn't necessarily advantaged his team, but Wooter's there. Clearing kick. Didn't clear it for too far because Gaffney was there. Swung out of that tackle, Devine. Devine's kick's good. Gaffney again. Awkward. Left boot. 1-on-1 at the back. It's going to be touched over by Wilton. Gee whiz, Wilton had best position then. Yeah. I think that was McQueen in defence for the Storm.
Desperate play from McQueen.
Oh, brilliant. He just, from our angle here, Trent, I really thought Jaden Wilton had that ball, but it's really hard to mark it.
So we've got a goal the difference now, Peachy.
Pretty sure Russell Young, I hope Russell's here somewhere with the bylaws for if it's a tie. I think it's 5 minutes each way. And now it's within 5. So dangerous moments here because they cannot get a clearance here. It's 5 points left. Well, they're going to do it by points. Might run out of time if that's the case. Over the back was Code. He needs to get involved. Lindisfarne with a run. They've got the legs, as I saw last week, against the Huonville Lions down there in Huonville. They had the legs then. They look like they've got them today.
Yeah, they do look like they're running a little bit stronger, Lindisfarne.
And they've just moved some of the players that haven't had a lot of the ball onto it. One of those players coming in involved is Duggan, so I haven't seen too much of Duggan today. And the umpire's going to ball that one again. I reckon his hands are a bit cold as well, that young umpire down there. He's going to reset it and throw it in again. Holdsworth in there at the back of this one. Barwick as well. Clark came in late. Holdsworth gets a tap. Quick kick on the left. And it's going to be a ball up here. No, it's a free kick.
High tackle there.
Yeah, so Jenkins sloppy. Just went over the top. Just need to get in a little lower to lay that tackle. Big climb at the back. It looked like it was Eves. Trying to win the ball was Wooters, who's just come onto it. It's past him. Duggan gets knocked off the football. And a nice tackle by Holdsworth. And the umpire said neither player won a free kick. Ball up.
Look at those players. They're sucking in the big breaths.
Aren't they ever? Clark, gee, what a game he's had. And the umpire's going to do it again. See, even the umpire just blowing the whistle, giving the players a little bit of extra time here, I think, Trent. They're going to need it. Rush kick. Hasn't gone forward for a while. It's not going to go forward again. Is diving down to his knees is Riley.
He's getting 50-metre penalty.
Has he? Oh, what a moment. What a moment in the grand final. And look at Riley. He's clapping his defender or his opponent. And Riley's going to move to the forward part of the 40 metres, maybe just on 50. So not a lot of movement. There's one lead. Riley to the top of the square. Late moments. Climb up. Nearly dragged down by Rawnsley. Couldn't get it. Still an opportunity. Wilton tackled high. Wilton dragged to the ground. Umpire's going to bowl it up.
Some more desperate defending there.
They were away too, the Southern Storm, and that was a terrible mistake. Could that be costly? Devine in the ruck. Rush kick, it just clears it for a few moments. Clark.
Liam Slater's been very good the last 5 minutes.
Tell you what, Samuel Major's been great too. Gaffney. Dash, Gaffney holding the football.
Well, there's Sculthorpe made up for his mistake on the...
Tell you what, Gaffney nearly went over the mark too there, Trent. He's just stopped. So Sculthorpe will just kick it up the line. There's just, let's add what's going on here.
Boundary throw-ins?
Is it touched? Yeah, boundary throw-in. So that's the third poor kick from Sculthorpe we've seen. His last 4 have been quite poor. So the mistakes are going the way of the Southern Storm, which is keeping Lindisfarne with an opportunity to get a goal. Neither team could get that out of the ruck contest. Duggan just past him. Another smothered kick. Sculthorpe just to the back here. He's going to have to charge down here and get a bit of run. They've just lost some energy.
Another throw.
Innes over the back and a boundary throw. Intense scenes here. Duff TV, 3 minutes in the Colts grand final left. Aaron Peach Roberts and Trent Cowan in the commentary box. Ben Duffy on the camera. Jack Duffy doing the pots and pans. Ball up.
What a contest it's been, though. Never more than, say, 10 points the margin.
It's been out to 11 at the most. 11. It's been so close all day. We're actually on chairs with wheels too, to let you know. Both Trent and I are going back and forth. I don't support either side. Barwick, another touch to him. And I've got to adjudicate the best on ground. Kick off the ground by Wilton. Ooh. It's out of bounds. Gee, I reckon Wilton had a bit of time then to steady and just try and straighten up. Still kicking off the ground was the right option.
I don't think we're the only guys or ladies at the edge of their seats, though, would we?
Oh, well, I tell you what, there's balloons, there's atmosphere to the left-hand side in the Claremont club room. There's atmospheres behind us with the Claremont women's team partying hard. There's about 300 or 400 spectators winning that and enjoying it. Harrison.
Another smother.
Barwick. Rush kick out. But the numbers here. It's going to come to Holdsworth. He's had a good 20 minutes here, Holdsworth. Really energetic stuff from him. Over the back was Rawnsley. What a game he's had. Stacks on the mill. A minute and a half left. Nervous scenes. A kick in it. 5 points. They have not gone past halfway for 8 minutes.
This game could go
Devine
anyway.
In the ruck. With a bit of dash was Josh Code. Can he lift his team? They've called it deliberate. What a moment. Wow, so Code needed to make an effort to keep it in, and he couldn't.
Let's hit the post.
Wow, another behind. And we can hear the music going. That is the girls. We might just have to get that effects mic just moved a little bit. We're nearly a minute done. Kick comes out. What a mark. What a few minutes he's had. Holdsworth. Holdsworth with some run. Runs to 50. Could this be it for the Two Blues? High in the pocket. Ball's been dropped through the fingertips of Harris. What a moment. I can tell you Harris is very hard. 40 seconds left. Kick out now. Can they just be steady? Hold the football. Will it be the Storm? Another short option. They're holding it for now. We're wiggling and squirming in the commentary position. 30 seconds left. Can the Storm go undefeated? The barrel up towards half forward. The punch. Holdsworth again. A tackle laid. Needed to be laid by Doreen. Couldn't get it. High tackle coming through Wooters. Wooters tries to go and grab the ball again. Duggan in there first. Rushing out towards that is Barwick. What a finish here in the Colts grand final. And a free kick given away. Is that going to be it? The push and the shove. Could that be the moment? The noise, and there it is. What a win.
What a game.
What a finish. The Southern Storm have won a heart stopper here at Abbotsfield. What a start to Saturday grand final in the Elevate Wealth. And here they go. And what commiserations to Lindisfarne. What a game. What an effort from them. They hit the front. Late goals by the Storm. They had all the play, Lindisfarne. The late opportunities. There was a kick from Wilton. There was nearly a mark. Slipped through Harris's fingers. But in the end, the Southern Storms are the champions.
Yeah, what a sensational game. And commiserations to Lindisfarne because they really played well today. The Southern Storm seemed to do everything they could to lose the game. It just hung in there, didn't they?
Well,
it's
we'll just go through the goal kickers as Trent gets his composure. Harrison with one, Foster and also Cutler kick goals for Lindisfarne. Just the 3 to them. Wooters Fay, Sculthorpe and Sald went off the ground. No goal in that last quarter. After an energetic third quarter, it's a Southern Storm have won the Colts grand final by 3 points. Lindisfarne threw absolutely everything at the champions, the team that went through undefeated with a team that somehow won against a gallant team from the Eastern Shore. And I'd probably say the better players maybe firstly from the Southern Storm, for your point of view, Trent Cowan.
Well, I think the boys are really out on their feet at the end there, and Noah Clifford was very good in the first half, and he was showing some injury there in the last quarter. Ryan Clark was in everything in the ruck as well. Josh Code was good around the ground as well. I was impressed by Liam Slater in the last quarter, who really got down and dirty around the ball. On the back line, Cody Rawnsley had a terrific game, as he always does. And Ambrose Brereton was really good as well, and Elijah Cohen. They all racked up the possessions.
Well, we're going to have to choose a best player for the grand final, so we're going to have a chat. We're going to go down. We're going to do the presentation. We have no microphone for it. We're going to do our best, so don't go anywhere. Presentation time, I'll be doing that one. We're going to have a best player. We're going to hear from the Southern Storm coach and the losing coach as well in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere in Duff TV. What a win here for the Southern Storm in the Colts grand final.
Yeah, ads break.
Right now, you need a property agent with skill and empathy. Call me today, Alison Rogers at EIS Property, for your market appraisal.
Come on, Kyle, harden up, mate.
Bit dusty there, buddy.
Pipe down, pal. Looks like it's your lucky day, but
Bisley Workwear. We've got you covered.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place.
And his best player medal goes to Lindisfarne. Awesome game of football from your guys. I'd like just to say a few words back to your team and also to the fans here from Lindisfarne. Just first, I'd like to congratulate Southern Storm on their win. They've been the best team all year and they deserve it. So well done to you, blokes. Congratulations. For my team, proud of you fellas, absolutely proud of you. Where we started here, we had 6 to train on the first night to get to the grand final, just to get pipped. Absolutely massive effort to everyone involved with our team. Thank you very much. You blokes, well done. Deserve it. Now, Andrew Love, I'd like to invite you up. Congratulations, you've done it again, undefeated. How do you feel at the moment?
Can I swear? Yeah. My dick is gone. Boys give us the biggest scare of their life, but bloody proud of the way they've come back.
Well, well done, great coaching. There's a few moves in that last quarter we noticed. We'd like to present some medals to your players, so would you like to call them out or would you need the... Yeah, absolutely. Just say a few words.
Just to the Lindisfarne boys, thank you very much. That was a fantastic game of footy. You should feel unlucky. We've been at Nemesis for the last 2 years, so it's fine. We're going to get one back up on you, but yeah, well done, Tim.
Now, so happy to call them up.
Number 1, Brodie Gregory. Number 2, Cameron Slater. Number 3, Sugar Tits. Number 5, Elijah Cohen. Number 6, Josh Henley. Emergency today, number 7, Ty Fay. Number 8, Cooper Reeves. Number 10, Ethan Lovell. Number 12, crowd favourite, Brookie Duggan. Noah Clifford. Number 14, Cody Rawnsley. Uh, 16, Braden Dowling. 17, Mitch Innes. 18, Ryan Clark. 19, Matty Doreen.
Come on, Matthew, say something.
Number 20, Ambrose Bratton. 22, Jaden Kringle. 25, Jonty Fay. 24, 27, Jackie McQueen. 31, Liam Slater. 32, Blake Sculthorpe. Back to 15, Connor Stoward, our vice captain.
On, Bobby.
Captain Courageous, Skip, Dotty Cone. Great job. Once again, a clap for the Lindisfarne. And Russell now for the trophy. Just quickly, because I know you want to get on with the trophy, but first of all, on behalf of the SFL, I'd just like to apologise to you guys that you couldn't play at North Hobart this grand final. I know that's something that everyone looks for. It's beyond our control, but I really do apologise for it, and look forward to both of your teams getting to, as you go through the ranks, getting the chance to play at North Hobart in the future. To Shane and Jacko, mate, the game today was absolutely magnificent. I think that the Sydney supporters would appreciate just what an excellent time it is. To the winners, well done, and you get the trophy. There you go, the champ.
Thanks, he found a couple.
One more to go now, mate.
Cut the corner off the boy. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Appreciate it.